One of our favorite shows to do, a ranking show. The best states rankings are out. And this is according to U.S. News. Some states shine in healthcare, some soar in education, some excel in both or in much more. The best states rankings by U.S. News draw on thousands of data points to measure how well states are performing for their citizens. In addition to healthcare and education, the rankings take into account a state's economy, its roads, bridges, internet, and other infrastructure, its public safety, its natural environment, the fiscal stability of state government, and the opportunity it affords its residents. More weight was accorded to some categories than others based on a broad survey of what matters most to the people. Healthcare and education were weighted most heavily. Then came state economies, infrastructure, and the opportunity states offer their citizens. Fiscal stability followed closely in weighting, followed by measures of crime and corrections and a state's natural environment. See the overall rankings. We're gonna get into them here. Okay,
Does that shock you that crime and corrections was so much lower on the list? I would have thought that would have been a higher point, like right up there with like education.
Yeah, I think if you're living in particular cities in America, if you're living in Portland, which I visited earlier this year, Portland, Oregon, then it's going to be high on the list because Portland's doesn't feel very safe when you're just walking around. If you're now in parts of New York, which have gotten, crime has accelerated. Some of these major cities, I think if you're living there, it's going to be at the top of your list. Beverly Hills right now, San Francisco, you can't lock your car. Right. You go to dinner, your car windows are getting smashed in San Francisco. These are in nice parts of San Francisco. This isn't just, certain areas like all of San Francisco. So if you live in those areas, I think it's going to be at the top of your list. You live in most of America, then it's not going to be maybe that big of a concern because it's not in front of you as much as it is. Like Connecticut, for example, we're not going to give Connecticut's ranking just yet. All right, Greg, so don't jump in there and spoiler alert. But where did Connecticut rank on crime? I feel like Connecticut's very safe. I feel very safe throughout the state of Connecticut.
We tied our crime and corrections and education. We're both number 8.
There you go. So top 10 in crime, top 10 in education for Connecticut. Yeah, number 8. That feels about right to me. Mm-hmm. I think, I don't know. I feel pretty safe. Greg, do you feel pretty safe? You're driving around the state.
Yeah, definitely up my way. Hartford County, it feels pretty safe. The occasional car break-in, but, no home break-ins, no violent crimes, anything like that. Can't complain.
Yeah, not that they don't happen, but it's just not. And maybe because we don't have a big major city in Connecticut. I know there's parts of Hartford, parts of Bridgeport you probably don't want to spend too much time in. But overall, I feel pretty safe throughout the state.
Absolutely. There's definitely not a lot of crime or serious crime along the Connecticut shoreline where we are, and then surrounding areas. We do actually have that's one of the things I like about Connecticut is that you can go to any different parts of the state and be in any type of environment. You want farms, you want mountains, you want beaches, you want a city, and we have it all in one state, where a lot of states miss that because they're where they're located or how they're set up.
The Northeast dominated in the crime category. We'll go top 10 in that category. And again, coming up, we'll give you the overall where Connecticut came in overall on this list. But crime, to go through the top 10, was New Hampshire number 1, meaning number 1 as in good. Greg, this would be
right.
This is a good situation for their crime. New Hampshire number 1 in crime and corrections. Maine number 2, Vermont number 3, Massachusetts number 4, Jersey number 5, all in the Northeast. Rhode Island number 6, Northeast. Virginia number 7, not Northeast but East Coast, and then Connecticut again number 8. Idaho and Hawaii fill out the top 10 for crime and corrections. So what is that? That's 7 out of the top 10 are in the Northeast, either tri-state or New England.
That is definitely impressive. Do we dare to go through the bottom 3 and kind of throw out where they are for corrections?
Yeah, I'd love to hear it, Chad. What are the bottom Go
So-
bottom five. Go bottom,
Bottom
five.
five. So at 50th in crime and corrections is Louisiana.
Louisiana, by the way, New Orleans is the only city in the last 2 months, or the last month rather, I'm sorry, the last 30 days, that saw major city in America that saw home values decline. So, if you're what
Goes
you're
right
saying,
in line.
crime high, might want to be getting out, and more people getting out than in would be an indicator for home values to go down.
49, Arkansas. Never been to Arkansas, so I can't really, put too much emphasis on that one, but interesting. Number 48 gets me here for the bottom. Alaska. I wouldn't picture a lot of crime in Alaska, unless it's like a polar bear or a grizzly bear coming after you. Like, they can commit a crime, but I don't see not a lot
Maybe
of people
per
there.
capita, because there's not a lot of residents. So
Right.
you get a couple bad apples in the mix, it can skew the numbers.
Next up at number 47, New Mexico. Another interesting one there for me. I've spent some time out there. Beautiful place to just hang out and go. Santa Fe is gorgeous. But coming in at number 47 in crime and corrections.
But New
46
Mexico it is on the Mexico border, right, Chaz?
That is
maybe
true.
there's
So that
is there
southern
a
part,
border
yeah,
issue?
more
I don't know
time
if there's
there.
a border issue. Not saying that, could have an impact on crime. Just saying.
46, South Carolina. One of the Carolinas making the bottom 5 of the list.
Wow.
That's surprising.
Yeah. And number 5 at 45 is Colorado. So for the bottom 5, Colorado rounding it out. That I have heard. Haven't been to Colorado, but you hear a lot of stories about the crime and some of the homelessness there as well.
I lived in Colorado for about 4 years. Beautiful state, but Denver is not the place to be, in my opinion. You don't necessarily feel super safe walking the streets all the time.